Welcome back to Ozarks Fox. With 2020 approaching and with presidential debates back on TV now, and as we continue to cover the presidential race, we also hear more and more about the importance of voting and democracy. One organization with a local chapter here in Springfield is well known for its efforts to register voters. But there's also lots to be done, like education on those issues you'd consider before voting. The League of Women Voters is a grassroots organization of men and women working to make democracy work, according to the group. And today we're learning more about how they are applying those values and carrying out their mission here in the Ozarks. With us, we have Dr. Katie Gilbert and Marge Bramer, both with the League of Women Voters here in Springfield. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So first, I want to introduce your organization to our viewers. If people have never heard of the League of Women Voters or want to know a little bit more, what would you say to them? How would you define your organization?
We were founded in 1920, even before the 19th Amendment passed, giving women the vote, looking forward to them having the vote and knowing they would need information not only on how to vote, but education on the issues they'd be voting on. From the very beginning, at that first convention in 1920, our organization has been nonpartisan. We never support a candidate or a political party. And I think part of the strength of that organization for 100 years now has been because of that nonpartisanship.
That's one of the things I wanted to talk about, because I was reading about the organization, and you say the League of Women Voters of Southwest Missouri is a nonpartisan political organization, and as you said, you never support a candidate. Tell me more about that. Why is that?
We focus on the issues that we're interested in and that we think are important to the values of our country. And we don't simply take a stand by voting among the membership and say, shall we support or oppose a particular piece of legislation? We study every issue. Some of the studies go on for a year or two. And once we have those policy positions, then we advocate strongly either for or against a particular position.
So to you, you're telling me it doesn't matter if a certain piece of legislation is introduced by a Republican or a Democrat, you are not looking at that. What you're looking at is the issue itself.
It's the issue itself, that's correct.
In your membership, you have Democrats and Republicans?
We assume so. We never ask our members.
We don't talk about it, actually.
That's very interesting. Yes. So you're essentially a political organization. You're talking about legislation, you're talking about voting, but you never talk about who's a Democrat, who's a Republican, or anything like that.
That's exactly right.
We don't ask.
Very interesting. Now, you do your homework, as you're telling me. You do, even if it takes a year or two to learn about these issues. And then another part of your mission is, you say, educating citizens on the issues affecting us today, from healthcare, taxes, to fair courts and open government. How do you go about then taking that information and educating the public?
We hold sometimes seminars, candidate seminars or ballot issue seminars. On the years of the election, we publish a booklet called The Voter's Guide. Last year, we published 49,000 and distributed voter guides throughout the region. And those present every candidate who responds, and we try several times to get each one to respond, and most do. And we also present all the ballot issues.
We also provide that online to Vote 411, right? So it's online, and it's a free publication.
I know you have several events this week, including this week for your centennial celebration. Tell me more about that.
Right. So we have come upon the 100-year anniversary of the passage of the 19th Amendment. So that amendment opened the door for the first time for women to be able to vote. We think it's important to also talk about the fact that not all women were instantly able to vote, that there continued to be groups such as African Americans who, until the 1965 Voters Act, were largely prohibited from voting. So our first event is this Thursday at 6 p.m. at Clara Thompson Hall at Drury University. It's with the Meteor Center, which is at Drury University. Elaine Weiss, who is the author of a book called The Woman's Hour, which details kind of the last week, the final push in getting the 19th Amendment ratified. Women in getting this done were beaten, imprisoned, force-fed. At least one woman died. There's an incredible story to be told there still that so many of us don't know about. So she'll talk about that this Thursday at 6 p.m. The next day, on Friday at 11 a.m., we have a voting rights panel that talks about voting rights today, now. Some of the issues that we're continuing to work through, everything from gerrymandering to voter ID, questions of voter ID. So we're both going to be talking about the past, and then we're going to be talking about the moment now and the future.
Marge, Katie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we will have the information on those events Katie talked about coming up on Thursday and Friday on our website. That's ozarksfirst.com. We'll be right back with more right here on Ozarks Fox.